everybody. I hope you are having a fabulous, fabulous day. Thank you so much for tuning in to Amy's Inspiration Station on the YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube channels. So thank you so much. Let me know if you're out there. Go ahead and type it in the chat. And thank you so much. We are just, as is put up, if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. And hey, Sue, I hope you're doing well. And hi, Alicia. I hope it's getting warmer where you are. And thank you so much for joining me today. I have kind of an interesting show today where we're going to be talking about mix and match. And what that means is taking different types of products and actually even different types of backgrounds. And we're going to be combining them together through a layering die set. And the die set that I wanted to focus on today is called the Jumbo Garden Picks Layering Die Set. And hey, Sherry, hi. Oh, Alicia, it's negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit where you are. Wow. Cece, it might actually be, I wonder if it's colder or about the same temperature in Sweden. I would be interested in that one. So what I did to prepare for today is I shot my stash, and I've been trying to do that a lot more lately. And I'm curious if you are as well, kind of shopping your stash. So I looked around, I had an idea, and then I went through and I'm like, hey, what do I have? What do I really want to focus on? And I got to tell you, and this is a little honesty, and I need, this is our time to talk about it, is I think I bought this, it might be a year ago, and I haven't taken it out. And this is the Garden Jumbo Picks Layering Die Set. It makes these absolutely gorgeous flowers. And I'm like, I know I love this, but I haven't used it yet. So I'm going to use it today with you guys. So I'd love to know if you guys also do that as well, where you kind of buy something and just either time goes by or something happens and you just haven't grabbed that out yet. So that's really my inspiration for you as well, is to shop your stash today. And when you have that project, grab something that you haven't touched yet, or something that you haven't had in a while, and go ahead and play with that one. Yeah, it's stamped the Evie. Yeah. I got to show you this, Evie. It's awesome. Yeah. And Alicia, yeah, exactly. Stuff from years ago that you just haven't used at that time. And Angel is behind the badge today. Hi, Angel. I am so glad that you are here. And hi, Joni. And you, like Joni, can be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. Just go ahead and share this live while we're live and let us know where you shared it to. And Angel will be announcing that winner at the end of our show today. And I'm just kind of looking at where everybody's from. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And let me go ahead and get down. Okay. So 2 Celsius now. It might be about the same as in Alaska, Cece. That might be about the same. And I'm so glad, Patricia, that you guys shop your stash all the time. And Joni, I know you do. And yes, Sherry, that's me. Sometimes I have stuff that I just have not opened yet. Yes, this tea stamp, absolutely, Sue, and had it for 6 months. That's exactly what I mean. Oh, that's a great idea, Evie. There's no shortage of supplies. And hi, Tony. And 55. I know, Joni, it was like 60 degrees for me today. It was kind of nuts. All right. Hey, Ann. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get down to this. And if this works out, I have 2 cards and I have an idea for the third. I don't think I'm going to make it to that one because we got a lot of die cutting, but I'm going to go ahead and definitely get to the 2 cards that I have today. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and come on right down. So here we are. So you can see I have a whole bunch of goodies, and I know it looks very black and gray right now, but I'm going to show you what I got. Hi, Madura. No, so thank you so much for being here. And hi, Sue from Central New Jersey. And yes, you need to get crafting this weekend. And hi, Liz. So nice to have you guys here. And Sue, thank you so much for sharing to Facebook. And you too can be like Sue and be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And Angel will be pulling that at the end. So I want to know, does anybody have this? So anybody have this one? Love to know if you love it, if it's something that you guys like to have. Oh, and Majura, you just got off from the Jennifer McGuire on the workshop inspiration. Yes, I'm excited about that in that workshop. That's going to be fun. Interview of Jen Raza. Yeah, Jen is also a teacher. So she and I, she's a teacher as well. She teaches music. I'm, of course, of science. But it's so nice that you guys are here today. All right, I'm opening this up, and Evie, I wanted to show you how crazy this is. But what's awesome about it? So this set makes 4 roses. It's so big it doesn't even fit in frame. And then you can see that we have 1, 2, and 3 types of leaves, and they just have 2 layers to them. Then you have these little filler flowers here. These look like little daffodils. And then you have the inserts that go inside of the flowers. But what's neat about this and why it's grouped up here is that this one die cuts out all 4 of these flowers. Then you have, so it's just one die that you can run it through in order to get, so it's all the same colors of the layer. So you don't have to do them through individually. And that's why I have it. Oh, Nancy, you have it and do have it and have used it. All right. I'd love to know if you love it, if this is one that you love. And thank you so much for sharing, Dawn. And if you can be like Dawn and if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Alternate. All right. So what I'm going to do today, and this is kind of our mix and match, is I pulled like a bunch of different dies and I wanted to kind of mix and match dies. And then I wanted to actually cut the dies out, use different types of backgrounds in order to make these dies. So what I pulled today, what we're going to do is do a couple of different backgrounds. So I pulled the watercolor paper pad, and I have the small one, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5, which is perfect for A2 size cards. But this is great because it's this 9 by 12 sheet and you can cut it up. And what I do is if I'm making like a big background, I just grab this sheet and I cut it in half. And that's what I do for these. So I just have this. I'm just going to pull a sheet out of this pad, and it is glued in there. But this is really nice. It's 300 GSM, so you can see that. And it's just a really, really nice, it's really, really nice paper. It's 100% cotton. So this is very nice paper. I also grabbed a piece of Yupo. Now, Alternate does not sell Yupo paper. You can also use, with their alcohol inks, you can use like the metallic cardstocks. You can use glitter cardstock. Use what you have. But I'm going to be using Yupo. And I do the same thing where I pull a sheet out and I'm going to cut it in half. And oh, thank you so much, Madhira, for sharing this on Instagram. And hi, Candy from Minnesota. So excited that you're here today. And hi, Teresa. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing. And yeah, Sherry, this set is huge. So when you guys have dies, I'd love to know, do you cut it out of like pattern paper? Do you cut them out of just white and then color the pieces? What is it that you do with your die sets when you have like a floral layering die set? What do you usually do? Is this something that you cut and then you color, or do you like do what I'm about to do and just make crazy backgrounds, and then do you cut out of there? All right, I got all these goodies. They're coming in. Don't worry, guys. We're going to be seeing a lot today. All right, so what I'm going to start with is I'm actually just going to make some backgrounds, and I'm going to start with watercolor paper. And the reason why I'm starting with the watercolor paper is because I want it to give it a little bit of time to dry. So I'm just going to take this big, huge sheet, and I'm approximately going to cut it in half. And I'm going to use the watercolor brush markers just to lay down some color. That's all. Cut out of white in color. That's a good idea though, Anne, because if you do cut it like out of white, then you can get it to exactly what you want. And you can use, you can use blending, or you can color it in, or and Patricia, try to match with what I have. I'd like to do that too, because then if I have backgrounds that I've made, then I can go ahead and I can use those to, I keep all these kind of backgrounds because sometimes I just feel like making a background, and that's what I do with it. All right. I realized I don't have my silicone mat, but that's okay. We're just gonna go crazy. So this is Mr. And all I'm doing is just kind of misting some ink on this. Sorry, excuse me, some water on this. And then I'm just going to grab these, and I want to create, I kind of want some like pink, purple. Let's see. So I'm pulling some rubellite out. Oh, throw a little of that guy in there. What the heck is this one? Ooh, warm sunshine. I'm going to pull this one back. I don't want orange. Let's see what that. No, that's going to be bad with that guy. So I'm going to pull this. So I'm just pulling a couple of colors. I'm going to bring that orange back out again. And I like this warm sunshine set. It has some really pretty colors in it. And I always just swatch and kind of put that one in. Oh, that's a good idea, Nancy. Just kind of see what you have and then just kind of grab it. That's good. I do that too. I end up with like all of these kind of crazy backgrounds, and then I just keep them in a big pile. And then what I do is I then just, when I feel like kind of cutting some stuff, I'll just go ahead and use those backgrounds that I have. All right, so you can see I'm just adding some of the rubellite down, and I'm adding some of the midnight violet. And I'm going to grab my large brush. So this is from the artist set. So I'm just going to grab my large flat brush from here. And I'm going to add a little bit more water because these need to move, and they're not moving. And I'm just going to start to spread this around. And I'm not looking for anything super awesome. I'm just looking to make marks on paper because I want to cut this up. That's my goal, is to end up cutting this up. And so I just want to get some color down and get some ink down. And I don't want to go through this whole entire panel. And I want some regions that are a little dark and some regions that are a little light. And I'm going to add in this orange just over here on this side just to see what the heck I get over here. And I'm actually going to use green on this bottom, on this. Yeah, it's, I kind of just sit there. I use a lot. I agree with you, Madhura, that it can be kind of crazy because if I put this orange near the purple, I'm getting brown. But so as long as I'm staying within that color wheel. And what's nice about the watercolor is if I don't like it or if I get dark patches, I can just add more water in, and that's going to lighten that up. All right, so I'm just kind of dragging this through. And I'm getting this region that's a little bit light, which I like. I'm getting a region that's a little bit darker. And I'm going to add more purple to this side. And to really get that to be a little different, I'm going to add some blue. Where's my desk? There it is. So because blue is close to purple on the color wheel, it's just going to give me a little bit of a different color that's coming in. If I mix it in with the pink too much, I'm going to get purple. So that's okay because that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to pull that over. I'm going to add a little bit more rubellite, and then I'm just going to pull in a little bit more orange. And you can see I'm trying to get it to be darker here and lighter on the bottom. And I'm just going to, add a little bit more water. And I'm just going. So you can see I'm a little bit more orange on this side. And if I don't want to push that orange in and I want to keep it, I can just grab my brush, take that color off with a rag, which is what I have in my other hand, and keep this on the orange side, and then I can push the red in. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more rubellite just up here. I know you guys are looking at this going, it's a lot of pink right now, and that's true. But again, I'm just looking for some variation in this. And I just want to pull that out. I'm getting too much purple in. So I just pull that purple out, and I want this to be a little bit lighter. All right, so that's just one half. Yeah, the splotches of color, remember that they will fade back a little bit, but I actually want those splotches in this case because I'm going to die cut it. This is not going to be a background. So what you're going to end up seeing is where those splotches are, they're going to be an edge of a petal. And so it's going to add variation within that petal instead of it looking like it's a big, huge mess right now. And so that's where that I'm looking for that. So I'm looking for that. I actually want the splotches as they're here. All right, because I have some green, or I have some leaves, I'm just going to grab a couple of green, and I'm just going to pull these and put them over on the side. So I don't want my water to start spreading down, so I'm just going to keep this a little bit on the side. I want to make sure that there's a nice white separation. And I always like to have a little bit of blue in my leaves. And I'm just going to add in a little bit of green. And I like this limeade because it's a little bit of yellow along with it. So now when I pull these together, making sure that I don't have any of that purple or pink on here. Let me just get my brush wet. Being very, very careful because I don't want to transfer any of this color to here because then I'm going to get a little bit of brown. Just making sure that's off. All right, so what I'm going to do, kind of the mix and match here, is I'm going to make those flowers. I'm going to make them out of watercolor backgrounds. I'm going to make them out of alcohol ink backgrounds, and I'm going to make them out of sprayed backgrounds. All right, so I need a lot more color than this. So let me add that moss in. Again, I'm just getting color down. I'm just seeing how it works. And I'm having the color do work for me. I want the color to do work for me. And I'm just going to make this big enough so I can kind of cut it out of one of the dies. Nothing too crazy. And what I can do is if I don't have enough, or once I die cut it out, if it's not totally on there, what I can do is I can just color the pieces individually where they are. All right, so I'm going for like a little bit of a lighter green, and I think that's about wide enough for my die. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Hi, Helen. And I agree, Liz. This is a good idea because of the fact that your floral with petals, as you die cut them out, they're not uniform, right? There's a lot of different colors in them. There's different splotches, and that's going to allow for that variation, and it's the variation that the eye is looking for. All right, so I'm going to leave this to the side. I'm going to wipe off my section, and I'm going to do another watercolor panel. So I'm going to grab this, but this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So the ink sprays are really fabulous to make backgrounds that have a lot of dimension and interest to them. And they just come together really, really quickly. So this is my other half of that watercolor paper piece. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this. I'm just kind of doing the top of it. And again, I usually put a thing down here, but I don't have it. My favorite combination that I'm loving right now is sea glass and antique silver. So these ones you do want to shake. Make sure you get that little bead, and you can kind of hear it. Make sure you get that little bead moving. And then you're just going to spray. And if you can get up farther, then what's going to happen is you're going to give a little bit of a mist. This is going to get my stuff kind of a little icky, but that's all right. I'm sacrificing for you all. All right, and that's just giving me this color. So I'm getting my base color down, and now I'm going to add in that antique silver. And these have a little bit of a shine to them. I love that combination together. And I'm going to add in Lagoon, which is a little bit of like this dark teal. It's kind of really pretty. All right, nice. And I can take this if I don't want these splotches, and I can just kind of move them around a little bit. And because I'm doing leaves, I'm going to kind of cut out of this. I'm just going to kind of smoosh it around a little bit. Although maybe I did not want to do that, but that's okay. All right, I'm just going to take the ink off of my brush. There's a lot of ink. All right, I'm going to hit it back up again. I think if I use sea glass, you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, and I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of this iridescent. Iridescent is nice. It just gives everything a little shine. Mine is not working right now, so we're going to move on. All right, so I have this different thing. And I only did it on the half because I'm looking for there to be, again, that variation in those differences of things. I really like this soft lilac, and I'm curious. Oh, let's put some water in. Hold on. I'm curious how this might look as part of the petals. And again, I'm thinking about this as two separate sections. If this freaks you out because you think that both of them are going to run, then you can just go ahead and you can cut that apart. I'm just adding a little bit more of that silver. All right, so that's my second piece. So I'm going to set that to dry. So both of those are drying right now. All right, so I'm going to clean up my work surface. So that was two backgrounds that we just made. And I made one using the watercolor markers, and then I made one using the sprays. And the sprays are just very, very easy to get some color down. All right, so what I'm looking for next, because and when I think about that jumbo garden, I have some soft petals. I have some part of my leaves. And then for my other half, I have some more leaves, and I got some more petals. So that's what I'm kind of thinking for my color scheme, and just kind of thinking about that, putting those together. All right, so those are those. Now I'm going to grab some Yupo paper. So what I like to do with the Yupo paper, oh yeah, silver spray. Sherry, you're going to love that silver spray. I think I use it on just about everything. Make sure you get that with the sea glass, because the two of them together are they're just gorgeous. I can't get enough of them. They are really, really beautiful. All right, so I'm just taking my piece of Yupo, and this is 8.5 by 11, and I'm just cutting this right in half. So now I have two halves of this. And I want to kind of play around and get some more greens. I want to get a little bit more pinks, just so I can have some choices of what I want to do. So what I pulled was I'm kind of playing with this idea of pink and purple for my flowers. So I'm just going to show you, as soon as I grab them all, I'm going to show you the colors I picked. All right, here we go. Okay. So I have the frosty pink and coral berry. So both of these are this really, really nice soft pink. And then I grabbed these purples, and these are kind of dusky purples. This is the amethyst, pale mauve, and grape agate, and we'll see what those look like on our Yupo. And then I have this as a backup just in case, where I have the rubellite on there. And then for my greens, I have a bright green and sweet leaf, and a little bit of a darker green and Shadow Creek. And I may add a blue in. And then I have this yellow fresh lemon, because I need some yellow pieces too. All right, so I'm going to start just by adding on some blending solution onto my cardstock. And I suggest you work, when you work with this, make sure that you wear protection, that you have an open window, fan, all that kind of stuff. And that you work in a very well ventilated space. So again, I'm going to kind of cut this a little bit in half. I don't mind that these are going to blend together. In fact, I'm okay that that's going to happen. Again, if you're nervous, then just cut the pieces in half and just work with purple and green. But I'm okay that they're there. All right, so I'm going to grab my frosty pink, and I'm just going to see what this looks like, because I haven't really put these on yet. And those are blending nicely. Okay, so that's a nice soft pink. So you can see how that is. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of dark to it. I'm just going to stay over on this side. And that's really bright. I don't think I realized how bright this was. So that's very, very bright pink. Now I'm going to start to add this pale mauve in and see how that blends in. So that's a little bit on the browner side. All right, that was not the look I was going for, but that's okay. I think this is going to come out nice. And then we have this amethyst. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. So you can see how that amethyst works together with that bright. So because you have that dusky purple, then it's connecting. It has a nice match with that really super bright. So the brightness is being toned down by the amethyst, And the amethyst is being brought up a little bit to brightness because it's next to that coral berry. All right, so I'm just going to take I also, by the way, as I do these, I cap these real fast. So that way the only alcohol that's being evaporated is what's on my paper. I don't leave those. So, all right, I'm just going to kind of mush these around together. So I'm just spreading the ink. I want to keep this kind of on that brighter side. So I'll have them blend in a little bit, but I don't want to go crazy. And I want to keep this a little bit more muted. So you can see I'm trying, because my blending solution I only put in here, that's why I can have my half on that side. All right, I'm really excited to try this grape agate because it's dark. Are you guys ready? Woo-hoo-hoo! Woohoo! There we go. All right, so that's spreading around. Oh gosh, that's nice. So again, what we're going to be doing with this is I'm not going to use this as a background. I'm using this to die cut floral pieces. That's what I want. So I'm okay that it's got, you know, dips and it's different. And we got sections that are bright and sections that are light and sections that are dark, because that's what I'm looking for. All right, I got to try this. I'm just going to throw in this rubellite. Oh yeah, there we go. Woohoo! This is kind of cool. I love these. All right. Oh, Nisa's here. That's so nice. Hey, Nisa, how are you doing? I hope that you guys are doing well. I'd love to know, as we're going along with this, we are heading into spring, which is why I thought that, at least up here in the Northern Hemisphere, and I was like, hey, this is great because we have this massive flower set that I'm about to use. Gosh, I'm loving the way this looks. Wow, that's cool. So I love this because, again, I'm not using it as a background, but we get this nice section that's dark, and we have this nice section that's bright, and we're going to put Pam, isn't this cool? Pam, this is the grape agate. Isn't that gorgeous? Take that out, Pam. That's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, didn't realize it. And I agree with you, Liz. It's like you never know what the heck you're going to get with alcohol inks, which is why they're so much fun. I know, Evie, right? I am totally digging this purple on this side. This is a little bright for me, but I know we're going to tone it down. I am really digging that side. All right, so now I'm going to do the green over here, and I need a section of yellow because part of that flower set has some yellow. So again, I'm just going to add a little blending solution. I'm not going crazy with this because I don't necessarily want that to go in to the middle. So I'm going to start here with the sweet leaf because this is a little bit on the lighter side. Okay, I'm just adding a couple of drops that can come out of there. And then, there we go. I'm going to grab just a little bit of the fresh lemon, and I'm going to put the fresh lemon in the middle because the fresh lemon can really blend over here with the rubellite. It probably wouldn't do so great with this side with the grape agate, but this gives me a little bit of yellow and green, which is what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to have a region that's a little bit on the darker side. And excuse me for a second. My fresh lemon was not going in. All right, and here I'm just going to add a little bit of the. So this is Shadow Creek. It's this really, really deep, rich green. Really gorgeous green. Okay, so now we're going to put these together. So now I'm going to start moving these around a little bit. I am going to push that yellow into there, into the flowers. And I'm going to move this around. And I even think that purple with the green is kind of cool. You can see how it brightens it up when we put it next to it. I know they're not near each other on the color wheel, but you can imagine getting a leaf out of this. So now you have these regions that are yellow and yellowy green. We have regions that are darker green, and then we have regions that are lighter green. And that's going to be really pretty. All right, that needs just a little bit more movement. All right, I know, Emily, the rubellite, right? God, it's gorgeous. Oh, I can't handle it. So I'm adding this in, and what's neat about this, if you have any regions that are dark and you want to break it up, you can just take alcohol, your blending solution, and I'm just kind of smattering this on, and it's just going to give it just a little bit more texture. So you can see where those dots ended up, just a little bit more texture. And I'm just going to move this around. I just wanted it to be a little bit lighter. Oh, gorgeous. If you guys will appease me, I'm going to add some ocean waves in. Oh, yes, there we go. I always like to add a little blue just because I think it works well with the green. And again, it just gives it a little bit of a different look. All right, so let me show you in just a second what the heck we've done with all of these things. And Angel, thank you for the reminder. If you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. Just let us know that you've shared it and where you've shared this to. And Angel will be drawing that winner at the end of our show today, which is in approximately 30 minutes. All right, so let me show you what we've done. So I have an alcohol ink background. I have a background that I made with the ink sprays. And then I have a background that I made with just watercolor markers. So we have all of these different looks. So this is our mix and match. Thank you, Sherry. So what we're going to do now, these are a little wet-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and take my heat gun and just really, really quickly just zap these to make sure that they're dry. Then we're going to start some die cutting. And then we're going to put these things together and see what the heck they look like. So just a reminder where we're headed to is I am pulled this Jumbo Garden Picks layering die set. And so you can imagine I have some different reds. I got pinks that I'm going to be die cutting all of these pieces out. So I'm going to make a decision where I want to die cut them. Then I have 2 sections of leaves. So I have to decide where I want to cut those leaves from. Then I have these little little tiny inside parts. I have flowers, or these are the tiny inside parts. These are the flowers that are kind of filler flowers with this. So that's what I have. So that's where I'm heading towards. Now, I am going to take a moment and Angel, I'm going to talk about if I end up using these, which ones I'm going to be using. But the gradient cardstock sets are super fabulous to use with layering sets, because these already come. They're perfect. They're a perfect size, especially to run through the mini blossom. They come in all of these shades. This is actually all of them. I think I have now finally completed my set, and it's just beautiful to have them all here. So I have these in backup just in case if I need some other colors. But Angel, I'll talk about these specifically if I end up needing to pull them in. All right, so I'm just going to take my heat tool really quickly. So everybody right now hum the Jeopardy theme. And that's how long it's going to take me just to kind of double check that all of this is done. Now, what I also will do, because I'm going to be die cutting these, is I'm going to use, where the heck is it? The double-sided adhesive sheets. And the double-sided adhesive sheets are very, very sticky. And they're fabulous to use, especially on something like cardstock that you've wet a lot and gets a little warpy. This will keep it flat, and you can adhere it, especially when you're doing sections of things. And when you're using the Yupo and the heat gun, just be mindful because this paper is plastic. So you notice how fast I am moving this thing around, and I am not leaving this on any certain section at all. All right, just double checking everybody. Okay, I think we are dry. Okay, so our next step is going to be, oh yeah, beautiful. Oh, it's sticky. A little tacky on that one. That's okay. All right, so now I'm going to die cut these all. Let me grab my scissors. So now I'm going to start to separate these out. So what's neat about this set is that you have, again, all of the dies are all in one on one of them. So the background die, the very, very base die, which they show as the darkest one, this one is 3 of them. So I'm going to look for the 3. So this is our base layering die. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along and say, okay, where do I want this out of? And I probably want it out of this. The next section is this die here. And so I can tell because it's got this large one right here. So I'm going to look for that. And that is this one here. So this is my second one. What I will also do sometimes, and I'll show you, I'll grab my Sharpie marker and I will actually take a moment to number these because I am that person. So I'll number this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I think it might be 8 on that one. I got to double check. And then on my actual die itself, I'm actually going to label this as a 2. And now I know that this is number 2 and I don't have to do this every single thing. Oh yeah, thanks Helen. That storage is really great. It's it took me a while to find something that would work with the glitter sheets and with the other ones. So that's what I found. All right, so I'm going to put these back out, lay them back out for you. All right, so this is our 1. So you can see when I cut this out, it's going to have a little purple and a little pink, but I want that on the darker side. And then I think I want to grab, can this fit here? Oh yeah, that's delicious. Okay, I think I want to fit this here. And that's all I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of deciding where I want all of these things to go. Okay, so number 3 is this one right here. Anyone ever fight with this tape? There we go. So I'm going to add a number 3 to this. So I know that that's my 3. And I actually want that to be right here on the purple. And then I have this one, which is my number 4. And I want that to be very, very light. So I'm actually going to add this right along here. So that's where I'm going to start to die cut all of these pieces. So, all right, so that's that. And then I'm going to go back in and do the other ones in just a moment. So now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut off these sections. So that way I can run it through my die cut machine and it's a little bit easier. This Yupo paper is still a little tacky, so I'm going to wait for that one to go. All right, so this one I'm going to cut right here. This is also still a little wet. I do like, if I do like a lot of water techniques, what I end up doing is I actually like to let these stay overnight. I'll just let them kind of hang out overnight. I don't like the fact that I'm wasting so much paper here. There we go. That's what I want. I might switch that. Okay, I think I'm going to switch 3 and 4. I think I want this to be the lightest. And I want that one there. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my larger machine and I'm going to run these all the way through them. And I'm just going to keep them kind of organized on the side of my table. I use the satin masking tape because that's going to help me to keep these suckers stable and where I want them to go, especially because this paper is a little wonky. Right. I know, right, Leslie? I fight with the tape every single time. I use a lot of them in magnetic sheets, but like this jumbo picks, it's so big that I haven't really found a way to transfer it. So I've been keeping it on the sheet itself. All right, so this thing is kind of biggish. So I'm just trying to find a way to make sure that oh, there we go, that's beautiful. To get all of this on here. There we go. And again, even though I'm in this white part, that's okay because I can always go back with my marker and just color in the section that I want. All right, so I'm going to die cut this. So here's my die cut machine. And how much time have I got? 20 minutes. Okay, this is a little hard with my very, very tiny section. All right, everybody, you're humming the Jeopardy theme again. I always like to make it go through twice. Lots of pieces. Yeah, that tape on the dies. I know, I know they have to do it for packaging, but man, do I fight with that packing tape that's on the dies. I really do. This tape is great, though. The satin masking tape. This is a game changer for sure. Okay, and then also again, because I labeled my dies, I can just kind of put them here, and then I'm just going to grab all these pieces. I have to say, when you have ones like this that might have like little pieces that are important, just be mindful of that. And these will all stay together because of the fact that they're in there. All right, so here's my 4. So I think that's actually pretty good. Let me just do that. All right, now I'm going to run this through. All right. And this is something that I would make a lot of these at a time. And then just save the roses. And then as I have backgrounds come up, or as I have cards that come up, then I would just grab them, pull the roses out, and make a card. And that's where we're going to move to. I might only get through one today, but I'll show you some examples of when I've layered die sets. All right, I'm going to leave this guy together. Okay, that's that one. And then this is a little sticky. I don't love doing this because I end up getting ink on my die, but I'm okay. I mean, you just use a little alcohol and that will pop right off. Okay, so let's get this guy. So it's a little sticky in there. I also wanted to grab some foil, but I forgot to grab some foil spares in order to give it a little shine. That's okay. And Yupo cuts so easily. And that I agree with you, Alicia. I will do that. I will leave the white spots sometimes. It all just kind of depends on how it comes together. But I do like doing that. And what I like about this set, so you see that, but I can use some alcohol and that will come right off. So don't get freaked out if you end up getting alcohol anywhere. It comes right off with a little bit of alcohol, because like dissolves like. All right, so now I'm going to do my leaves, and I may not do the I'm probably going to do the inserts, but I'm not going to do the extra flowers. I'm just going to leave those be for right now, just because I don't have a ton of time. But otherwise I would do it. All right, so this is great because it cuts out all 3. All right, everybody say it with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh man. All right, another one. Oh, there we go. All right, so this one I labeled 5 and then 6. Okay, so this one is 5. And then this one is 6. And then this one is 8. That's 8. Okay, always label. I'm a big labeler. I don't know how anyone else is out there, but I'm a big labeler. All right, so I have kind of 3 things to choose from. I think I want this to be my base because these are a little bit more uniform, although I don't love the fact that they're uniform, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to run this through as my base. Actually, you know what? Should I make this my base? Right? Wouldn't that be pretty? Well, I'm switching gears. Sorry, people. I'm switching gears. Okay, so I'm going to run this through. So these are the bases of my leaves. And then I'm going to use the spray piece in order to make the tops. So the venation comes from the spray piece. And I think that means I'm going to use the alcohol panel for my middles. And I would also use those if I was doing that other one. I was double checking that came out. Okay, so that's this guy. And then I have this one, and he's going to be my middles. So this is the venation pattern. And I'm going to go right here like that with him. All right. And this one. Oh, yeah. Anti-static powder on the sticky tape. I could do that. It's just they're already stuck on there. You know what I mean, Leslie? It's like trying to get those off from the packaging. And I understand why they have to do it. Man, sometimes it's tough. Okay. And I know this is a lot of die cutting, but I promise it gets more exciting. Okay, here we go. Die cutting. And then, so those are those. And then I'm going to use this guy. And we're just going to do the middles. And we're going to do the middles right here. And again, this is a little wet, and I have this nice panel, so if I have more leaves or if I want a little bit of a different look, then I can do that. And at least for this one, I don't have to go all the way through, because it's just a little section. All right, that was my workout for today, everybody. That's it, man. Lugging that thing around. Jeepers. Okay, so now we're going to put these together. I'm going to grab some glue. I didn't end up putting the double-sided adhesive on only because of time constraints, but normally I would do that with the time constraints. If I didn't have time constraints, I would do that. Now I have tape on the back of this, so I'm just going to lay this on my adhesive on the cellophane section, just so it doesn't get anything where I don't want it to be. All right, so I'm going to start out with the leaves, and all I'm doing is looking at the die cut. I'm just looking at the cutting guide. So let me show you the leaf cutting guide. So I have this 3-1, and that is this one right here, and that goes with this guy. So I just want to show you how pretty those are going to look together, and you can see that nice variation from that one. And then this is obviously the big guy. So he's going to go on the big leaf here. And then I have this guy right here. And I think, oh, no, he's one part. Oh, good. These are going to be easy to put on. And you notice I just kind of keep it the same. And I still have a ton here, so I can cut more out of that if I want to. All right. Oh, copy paper over the sticky ink sheet. Oh, that's a good idea. Magnetic sheet on the packaging to store the dies. Yeah, I agree. These jumbo ones are big. So I kind of transitioned over, and you can see, well, you will be able to see when I move over in just a second how I store my dies, because I have them on magnetic sheets. All right, so I have this in the negative space, and that's going to allow me to line this up nicely. And then once I have it, I'm just going to pop it through. And then because it's on glue, I can just kind of moosh it down. And if I had put this on the double-sided adhesive, I can just add glue to that double-sided adhesive. But look how cute. How cute. How adorable. So again, this was the Spring Garden markers, and then this is that spray. Adorable. So an arm workout in one. I agree. I can take that off, Ellen. Oh, I can take that one off. All right. I don't know why I took that one out. I did not mean to do that. Okay. So then I'm just going to put this guy on. Now he's got a couple of red spots. I'm okay with that. Maybe it's fall and the chlorophyll's dying. Leaves are changing. That's okay. I'm okay with that one. And these are relatively easy to line up. I just look at that base, and then I just pick it up, and then I just smoosh it over to where it needs to go. So pretty. And I think that picked it up because I had some on there. Adorable. All right, and then here's my last one. So I'm just going to grab some ink, some glue, and stick this on here. And then again, I'm just keeping it in the negative space, just so it's a little bit easier for me to line up. So that's my initial lineup. Then I pop it through, and then I do my final lineup. And it's, again, it's a little wet. I always like to keep these like dry overnight, just so they're a little bit easier to work with. And you can stick something on it. I just kind of press everything down to make sure it's okay. And cute. So cute. So, all right. Thanks, Liz. Did you, Evie? Did you squee? Yes, this is what it is. All right. Cute, cute, cute. So I just wanted to show you. So if you were like, wow, that was a mess and I didn't know where the heck that was going to. Again, you're talking about a panel. It's a mess. But again, we're looking at just little pieces of it. And so that's what we were pulling out. All right. So now we're going to do these guys. So I'm going to, again, remember I laid them out so I know what the heck is what. So here's my 2. So I'm going to pop these out. And again, this is a little bit still sticky. That's okay. We're handling it. And then that is, I think, my fourth base. This right here is one of them. So I got to figure out where these connect to. Who belongs to who is pretty much it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And this one. And sometimes they just don't like to come out. Now, again, because my Yupo, because my alcohol ink wasn't totally dried, it was, this is stuck a little bit, but that's okay. We will work it. And you can see that I have some alcohol ink on my die. Not a big deal, because what I can do is just use some alcohol in order to get that out. It doesn't bother it at all. However, it does not like to come out because it is stuck in there. All right, everybody, are you all saying, there we go. You all saying good things for me? Ooh, I might have lost some ink on this, but that's okay. All right, so there's one of them. How cute is that? So that's two. And let me get these guys out. Hopefully they come out a little bit smoother than that one. There we go. Yep, this one definitely did. Okay, just that first one. So I just want to show you how different these can look. All right, I think I just ripped a hole in that, but that's okay. How different these can look, but that gives you such a nice variation within all of these pieces. So you can see how our second layer went. All right, so I'm going to grab these three and we're going to start to put these together. So this is layer one and layer two. So this is definitely where I need this guide to figure out who belongs to who. So this is my big guy and he belongs to this one. So they belong together. And then I have my one that's a base and he goes along with, let's see, I think he goes along, that's this one, that's this one. This one definitely goes there. This one definitely goes there. All right, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put those together. So you can see how neat that looks. Let me just show you guys, because you're getting that variation. So cute. All right. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are sharing. We're just about done. And I know you're like, Amy, you're going to finish. I'm going to be close. And even if I just show you guys a flower here, I might do that. And then I'm going to show you some examples of some cards. And what my next step is in the mix and match is we're going to be layering dies and also layering papers. So this is kind of creating these different backgrounds in order to create these different flowers. And then I'll show you what I've done for this. I kind of like glue because sometimes the adhesive paper, it definitely gets stuck. And these are really easy to line up once you have them all popped out and ready to go. So I'm just looking at the edges in order to connect them. All right, so cute. I don't know which one I like better, to be honest. I love this mauve. It's so pretty. And then to have that bright pink behind it, oh, I love it. And then this is the bright pink with the pink because we use that rubellite. And this is really, really pretty too. And again, I'm just looking at the outsides and that's how I'm lining this up. Really easy to go on. Super easy. Oh, wow. Cute, cute, cute. All right, so that one's together. All right, so now I'm looking at number 3. And so this is number 3. I'm just going to pick this larger flower just for the interest of time, just to show you how all of these colors will go together. And again, I'm following this. Okay, I'm not going to pick that one because that one flew off the table. So I'm going to grab this one because this one goes on this base. And I just want to show that to you. So I was looking, this is really the colors I wanted. So you can see that mauve with that really, really soft light. I mean, so pretty, right? Oh, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for stopping by at all and watching with us. And thank you to everybody out there. I hope this is inspiring to you. Let me know if you're thinking about pulling out those items that you maybe bought but haven't really thought about in a while, or you're looking for some inspiration and kind of mixing things. You know, Altenew is so good about creating sets, so you don't really have to think. They really take, you know, the ease. They put all this really, really big ease into crafting. But sometimes you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can do this. I can mix colors. I can mix medium. I can mix all these papers. I can mix stamp sets, and yeah, you can. And so feel free. You know, you are really not hampered by anything at all, which is really the cool part. All right, I wanted to show this because this is one piece. That other one is a little bit up here. All right. And I just want to show this because this is kind of the look that I was going for. So you can see that we had that beautiful mauve piece, but when we put that light pink on top of it, so nice. And you can see the depth of all of these colors over there. So I'm going to grab this purple section, and I know there's 3 here in the purple section. And this one that goes along with it, believe it or not, is just this little piece, just these 2 little pieces right here. So I'm just going to grab these 2. And this just gives it a little bit of a highlight. We may have a visitor coming in, just to let you know. Okay, so this one goes like this. There's my visitor. Everybody, that is Astro. And yes, I did feed them before I did this, just letting you know. All right, of course I'm having trouble figuring out what this goes. 2, 3. All right, give me 1 second. I don't think that's the right one. I'm not sure. All right, we're going to keep it there. So let me show you what I was going to do with this. So I had already pre-cut out and actually put on a piece of adhesive sheet. I used the rose gold brushed metallic cardstock, and this is the ornate door die, and this is a gorgeous die, and it's got a lot of little pieces, which is why I tried to do this ahead of time, which I may or may not have been foiled on literally, but you can look and see how gorgeous this is with the rose gold. So what I wanted to do was, on a piece of cardstock, I was going to lay this down on here, and I'm not going to press it down because I still have this. And then I was going to lay my flowers on this. And so I'm kind of stacking these flower die cuts and then building up a scene. So that was where I'm going. If you can see it, let me know. But that was my idea of that. So, but that's where I was going to go to with this. So I think from my takeaway for you today is to take a look at what you have, to shop your stash, to really think about what it is that you have and how can you mix it up. That's my challenge to you, is how can you mix these things up and come together to create a cohesive look for yourself. So you can see that we have, from all of those backgrounds, from using the ink sprays, from using the alcohol backgrounds, from using the watercolor brush markers, it gives all this different layers of texture. And you can, and then when you compare that with, or when add that on to the other pieces, it just really is so cool. It's going to be beautiful, Cece. Thank you. I hope you see it. And I'm glad, Pam, that you saw this door die. To me, this door die looks amazing in this brush metallic, and I added rose gold. I didn't want the gold because I thought that was going to be too brassy with the pink that I had, but the rose gold is beautiful. It's going to be so amazing. So I will put this together and I will post some pictures out on the Altenew and tag Altenew on this. But I really am excited to see what it is that you guys can create. And of course, Altenew loves to see what you do, because that's what that's what we do here, is we want to inspire and have you guys create new things. And so please try your own stuff and then tag us on social media so we can see it. And Angel, I just want to say a huge thank you to you for being behind the badge today and kind of keeping up with me with all the alcohol, with all the inks and everything. So thank you. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous day. And I agree, Pam, this would be super nice on black. I might have to take you up on that one as well. All right, everybody, thank you so much and happy crafting. Have a fabulous day. Thank you.